My sister used my ID photo to catfish people online. She only meant to learn some sweet, innocent girl. But instead, she hooked a big fish. She somehow hooked that deeply connected girl from the law department, the cool and stunning Qingyuan. When Qingyuan saw my photo, she felt like her intelligence had been insulted. That very night, she posted a campus-wide anti-scam wanted notice on the confession wall. Scam warning. Campus-wide anti-scam wanted notice. This person is maliciously scamming people with AI-generated photos. A man who looks like this cannot possibly exist in real life. It is obviously photoshopped. Anyone with information will be handsomely rewarded. Miss Z, do not be rash. What if it is not edited? What if that is really her brother? Qingyuan answered without hesitation. Impossible. You would never find a face like that on a real college campus. A sister's debt is her brother's to repay. Bring the signed agreement tomorrow and meet me at the gymnasium. Otherwise, she can pack up and leave school until the basketball game the next day. She saw me with a face that looked perfectly modeled and impossibly perfect proportions. Qingyuan pulled out her phone and edited the post. Urgent. I think I scared my future sister-in-law into wanting to drop out. How should I sign this agreement to make her stay? Need advice online, urgently. Tang, you and I are boy-girl twins, but the intelligence between us was distributed wildly unfairly. It was as if, in the womb, I had stolen her share of brains. While I was winning gold in the math Olympiad and doing academic research, she was playing with dolls. When I was admitted directly to a top university, she was still getting pinyin and English mixed up and being scolded by her teacher. Somehow, this idiot got ridiculously lucky with her talent for art and got into the same university as me. Just days after school started, that lovable idiot came to me beaming, saying she had met an incredibly gorgeous big shot. She hoped to use that connection to get into elite social circles. I told her people with powerful connections were not to be messed with. But Tang Yu would not listen. As long as she was gorgeous, that was enough. During that time, she reported her progress to me every day. Bro, I added her. She accepted my friend request. She sounds so professional. She even talks to me about law. Is this the charm of a big shot? Until one day, she came to me in a panic. Bro, save me. She asked to meet me in person tomorrow. I am freaking out. Bro, can you help me? When I got that message, my advisor was driving me crazy, hounding me for my paper. Is that paper not done yet? How much longer are you going to make me wait? Without even thinking, I casually agreed. I stayed up until the middle of the night and sent my paper to my advisor. Only then did I finally breathe a sigh of relief. No. What did I just agree to for Tang Yu? My roommate forwarded me a trending post from the campus forum. The title was explosive. My hand trembled as I clicked on it. The poster's username looked like trouble. Every word was loaded with fury. You disgusting pervert, using AI-generated photos to scam people. Can you just get the hell out of this school? The spectators in the comments eagerly stirred up the drama. Miss Z studies law. She hates liars most of all. That scammer really picked the wrong person to mess with. Qingyuan replied quickly. Even through the screen, I could feel her rage. I study law, and I hate deception and fraud more than anything. I knew this idiot would get caught eventually. Using an AI-generated photo to fool Miss Z. She must have a death wish. Make her drop out. Qingyuan, it took you this long to realize the photo was AI-generated. That girl is usually so timid. I never thought she would pull something like this. I tracked down her dorm room number and went straight there. I cornered her at the end of the dorm hallway just now. She cried and begged, claiming that profile picture was her real brother. She says her brother looks like this. That is hilarious. Does she think I am that easy to fool? Could someone that handsome in that photo possibly be real? The dorm hallway was dim late at night. I stared at my phone screen. The more I looked at that supposedly fake photo, the more familiar it seemed. Damn, was that not the ID photo I took just last week? I looked so handsome in it that people always assumed it was AI generated. Tang Yu was curled up in her dorm chair, wiping tears as she stared at her phone, frantically typing out pleas for mercy. Right after that, Qingyuan updated her post again. This girl really cannot handle being scared. I had not even laid a hand on her before she burst into tears. She kept yelling that it was her brother. She even said he would come to the gym at 10 tomorrow morning, about signing that debt repayment agreement. So he wants to negotiate repayment on her behalf. Fine by me. She says her brother is the best looking man alive. I will be right here tomorrow and expose this photo editing fraud. I am doomed. My expression froze instantly. My head started spinning. It looked like I had no choice about tomorrow morning's showdown at 10. I had to go. Still unwilling to accept it, I stared at the post, looking for proof that she had not done this. But in the end, I could only admit in defeat. The idiot using my photo to fool people everywhere really was my own little sister. Tang, you really do have a death wish. The tide on the forum had completely turned. Looks like Qingyuan is truly furious. This young lady really does not mince words. She must be seriously enraged. This is no joke. One commenter filled in the newcomers. Qingyuan is the notorious devil of the law school. Her family connections are terrifyingly powerful. Anyone who sees her has to show her some respect. That scammer is finished. They picked the toughest person in the whole school to mess with. Reading those comments, my heart went ice cold. By the logic of all the novels I had read, people with money and power and a nasty temper were the worst kind to provoke. I was so angry I wanted to drag Tang Yu out and give her a beating. Nervously, I pulled up the contact Tang Yu had given me and added Qingyuan. Before I had figured out what to say, she accepted my friend request. Z. I am Tang Yu's brother. About the photo, it is actually a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? Your sister used a fake, model perfect face to deceive me for a full 2 weeks. And now you call it a misunderstanding? That photo is real. It is genuinely my own ID photo. There were no filters, and it was not edited. If a face like that were real, I would eat every basketball from both ball racks. Do not try feeding me that nonsense. 10 tomorrow morning. Bring that debt repayment agreement your sister mentioned. Meet me at the gym. Do not be late. If the real person does not show up, I will expose this whole thing and have her kicked out. Tang Yu, you really are beyond saving. Sigh, maybe I should just make her delete her account and start over. This kind of trouble really does not suit someone like me, a law-abiding citizen who just wants to pursue research in peace. Forget it, time to sleep. Before bed, I foolishly checked the post one more time. The comments had already gone completely off the rails. Original poster. What if that brother is really too handsome for this world? Can being handsome put food on the table? Miss Z cares most about keeping her word. If Miss Z says she'll beat her up tomorrow, she'll do it tomorrow. To be fair, I also want to see that model perfect face and find out how ugly it really is in person. Please live stream it. Impossible. No one in this world could possibly look like that. This guy is a total fraud. This is the first time in my life anyone has made a fool of me. Tomorrow, I am taking my pride back. That brother and sister had better get their affairs in order. I closed my eyes in utter despair. Just great. Tomorrow will be a hard fight. Not only did I have to keep Tang Yu alive, I also had to find a way to make that Z girl tear up that damn debt repayment agreement. Brother, save me. Bring your written self-criticism. Wait for me downstairs at the dorm at 9 tomorrow morning. Brother. Sob. I am sorry. I was wrong. I changed my profile picture to a Shiba Inu. What good is changing your profile picture? She has already put out a school-wide wanted notice. Then, will Senior Z really get me expelled? No. Your brother is here. 1, 2, 3. Damn. Tang Chen. You are dressed so sharply. Going on a blind date. I could not be bothered to answer him. I folded up the agreement I had printed overnight and slipped it into a folder. Ming leaned over, craning his neck for a look. Debt repayment agreement? Who owes money? My sister does. What could Tang Yu possibly owe? Money for milk tea. She owes Qingyuan 2 weeks' worth of stupidity tax. Qingyuan? Qingyuan from the law school. Miss Z, that scammer everyone was talking about a few days ago. Do not tell me it was you? Fuck. Run. Bro. That is a living hell. That woman can argue someone to death. You know that. I know. And you are still going. I am going. I have to go. If I do not, Tang will be packing up and heading home tomorrow. Then be careful, man. When I got downstairs, I found Tang had wrapped herself up from head to toe. Brother. Do not cry. Okay. Crying will not help. Once Qingyuan lays eyes on you, those little tears would not even be a mouthful for her. I only wanted to catfish a cute girl to hang out with. You used my photo to lure sweet girls. Why did you not use your own photo? I did use my own photo. Nobody replied to me. I took a deep breath and reminded myself, she is my actual sister. Do not hit her. When we were still 500 meters from the gym, I could already sense something was off. People stood around in small groups, each holding a phone. From time to time, they looked toward the gym, muttering quietly to one another. No way. Does that guy's face look familiar? Which guy? Which guy? That one just now, wearing the jacket. Brother. They are all looking at you. School-wide wanted notice? Does that make me a fugitive now? When we reached the gym entrance, I raised my wrist and checked the time. 9:58. Perfect. The streamer is here. Is he here? Does that fake photo creep really dare show his face? Brother, maybe we should go back. We have come this far. If we leave now, you will be dead even faster. Holy crap. Who is that? Wait. That face. I have seen that face on the confession wall. It is that edited photo. No, wait. That is not edited, is it? He is real. Everyone. Look. The real guy is here. Keeping my eyes straight ahead, I grabbed Tang Yu and walked straight through the crowd. At the center of the gym, a girl sat in the bleachers beside the basketball court. Her long legs were crossed, one hand propping up her chin, while her other hand casually flipped through several documents on the table before her. Our eyes met for a second. Her expression visibly froze for half a second. Then she recovered almost instantly, lowering her head to look through the documents again, as if that brief lapse had only been my imagination. Classmate Z. Did you bring the agreement? I brought it. Put it on the table. HMPH. That face of yours. You had cosmetic work done, did you not? Hey. Holy crap, Miss Z is refusing to admit it. She is bluffing her way through it. That expression she made just now, I recorded it. Brother, she is not really going to get me expelled, is she? Shh. That is right. It is a genetic mutation. I was born this way. Classmate Tang, your brother's explanation is exactly the same as yours yesterday. Looks like lying runs in your family. Alright, I see it now. Miss Z is too stubborn to admit it. She was clearly stunned just now, but she is still denying it. Classmate Z, you asked me to bring the agreement. Here it is. But before I sign it, I have a question. Go on. This agreement of yours, clauses 3 through 7, are not legally enforceable at all. There is no actual debt between the parties to this agreement. Forcing one party to repay in another's place is plainly unfair. Clause 10 requires me to take my sister's place and provide a full year of unpaid labor. That term is inherently unreasonable as well. Are you sure you want me to sign it? Qingyuan abruptly looked up. Her eyes went wide. Her lips parted slightly, as if she wanted to say something, but she swallowed the words back. At that moment, I saw the base of her ears suddenly flush red beyond her control. Holy crap. Marry me. I am from the law school. I am making my move first. Every point that brother made holds up legally. Classmate Z, how about we renegotiate? Z Qingyuan's face visibly flushed from her ears all the way down her neck. She sat frozen in the bleachers, her fingers still resting on page 3 of the agreement, as if someone had pressed pause. The gym was so silent, you could hear a pin drop. Holy crap, this guy really knows every detail inside and out. Miss Z might finally lose today. Lose? What do you mean, lose? I think she is about to marry him. Tang Chen, right? Which school are you in? Second year, computer science. A second-year computer science student, yet you know these rules so well. HMPH. Does your advisor know you are neglecting your actual studies? Miss Z is lashing out from embarrassment. Classmate Z, knowing this is not a distraction from my studies. It is called common sense. Common sense? There is plenty to learn in civil law, but an adult can read through it into weekends and know enough to handle everyday agreements and contract disputes. I had planned to spend those 2 weekends playing video games. But then I thought about it. If my sister ever got me into trouble, I would need something to protect myself. Brother, why did you not tell me you had read all that? Would you have understood if I did? Z Qingyuan fell silent for 3 seconds. Then she did something no one in the crowd expected. Holy crap. She really tore it up. Am I seeing this right? Z Qingyuan actually backed down. The agreement is void. That campus-wide manhunt post from last night. I will delete it now. Classmate Z, you are decisive. Your sister used your photo to deceive me for half a month. HMPH, I can let that slide. But I have one condition. You said my agreements, clauses 3 through 7, would not hold up. I admit that. You also said Clause 11's unpaid labor provision was reasonable. I admit that too. Then what about the other 9 clauses? Go on, tell me. What is wrong with those other 9 clauses? She is testing him on the spot. Brother, do you really know every last detail? Clause 8. It sets liquidated damages at 30% of the other party's annual income. That amount is far too high. If this goes before the authorities, an excessive compensation claim will not be upheld. Clause 9. It directly states that disputes will be handled in your local jurisdiction. The wording is not precise enough. Under special circumstances, that clause would be void. Clause 10 is fine. Clause 11 is a standard confidentiality provision. Clause 12 forcibly requires siblings to bear joint and several liability for damages. That has no legal basis. Even between family members, one cannot be made to carry another's debts without cause. Clause 13 only says a breach requires a public apology, but does not specify its scope or manner. If you try to enforce it, it would be impossible to put into practice. Clauses 14 through 16. The consequences for breach are written far too broadly. They are full of loopholes. Clause 17. The signature section. Classmate Z, did you write this agreement yourself? Or did you ask a senior girl to help you write it? I hereby declare, from today on, this man is my husband. Everyone in the law school is crying themselves senseless in the bathroom. Cheers erupted. Miss Z, just surrender already. Keep holding out, and your face will turn red enough to bleed. All of it is right. Every issue he pointed out is completely valid. Is this guy really not from the law school? Z Qingyuan was silent for a long time. So long that I thought she would slam the table and leave. Then she suddenly smiled. That smile completely changed her whole aura. Holy crap. Z Qingyuan can smile. It is the first time I have seen her smile in 3 years. Who the hell is this guy? He even made the she-devil laugh. Z Qingyuan stood up. She walked toward me 1 step at a time and stopped in front of me. Tang Chen. I wrote that agreement myself. I know. How do you know? A professional would not make so many basic mistakes. And the way clause 2 assigns liability to relatives is a common textbook example. You Do not show off in front of me again. All right. He agreed just like that. Qingyuan stared at me for 3 seconds, as if checking whether I was being snide. Once she was satisfied, she took her phone from her pocket, opened the campus confession page, and typed a new post. Brother, look at this. Urgent. I think I offended my future husband. What can I do to keep him? Waiting for answers online. It is pretty urgent. Tang Chen. 3rd floor of the library. I will draft a new agreement. Dinner is on me. Brother, do not tell me you like her now. That day's video was up on the campus confession page for less than 2 hours, and already passed 200,000 views. I hid in my dorm and turned off my phone for 3 days. I did not even dare reply when my advisor chased me about my thesis. Every day, Ming would throw his arms around me and howl, Brother, please teach me your ways. I want Qingyuan to buy me dinner at least once in my life. Get lost. Have you finished your thesis? Tang, on the other hand, got a new lease on life because of it. That lovable idiot practically strutted everywhere now. Ahaha. Haha. This is my brother. My actual biological brother. My brother and I are fraternal twins. We have the same mother. He is basically a walking DNA test. At 6:55 Wednesday evening, I arrived on time at the library's 3rd floor. I had drawn too much attention that week. If someone caught anything else on camera, I would probably have to move off campus overnight. Better to keep a low profile. Sit. About that previous agreement. Classmate Z. How many clauses did you write this time? HMPH 7. I checked every one carefully. Go ahead, pick it apart. I took the agreement and skimmed it from beginning to end. She had certainly improved a great deal. At least there were no obvious loopholes. Did you write it overnight? No, I did not. Those dark circles under your eyes say otherwise. Qingyuan quickly raised a hand to touch the corner of her eye, but she seemed to suddenly realize something. Tang Chen, stop showing off that little power of observation in front of me. I smiled, but said nothing. The students studying nearby kept glancing our way, their eyes filled with the despair of being unable to study. Qingyuan was about to speak again, when footsteps came from the stairs. They were heavy, as if announcing, I am here. I looked up. A young man in a dark trench coat was walking toward us. He came straight to our table, without even looking at me. Qingyuan, I have been looking for you for 3 days. You will not answer my calls, and you will not reply to my messages. Fang Ming, I already told you. We have nothing to discuss. Nothing to discuss? Uncle Z had dinner with my father just last week. He was planning to betroth you to me. Fang Ming turned his eyes toward me, sizing me up from head to toe. Well. So, you are that model perfect face everyone's been talking about online. Tell me, Qingyuan, when did your standards get so low? Sitting with some influencer who farms clout off his looks, I picked up the glass from the table and slowly took a sip. The water was a little cold. Qingyuan shot to her feet. She was about to lose her temper when I gently placed a hand on her wrist. This classmate here. Yes, I recall news reports saying the president of the Z group spent last week, that is, classmate Z's father, at an overseas mergers and acquisitions summit. Meanwhile, the Fang family operates entirely within the country. So how exactly did your father meet classmate Z's father? Fang Ming, you publicly fabricated a relationship and deliberately demeaned others. That constitutes malicious defamation. If classmate Z's father decides to pursue this, both your reputation and your father's will suffer serious damage. The resulting dispute could drag on for a long time. Whether you could win is another matter. But the Fang family's standing in business circles would likely be cut in half first. Holy crap, the Fang family's young master. Which Fang family? The Fang family in construction materials. The ones who make steel and cement. They made the headlines not long ago. Damn, was what this guy just said really that extreme? Could it really wipe out half that company's market value? Reputational damage alone could knock 3 percentage points off their stock price. I am nobody special. I am just a second-year student who writes code. But what you just said was said in a public place, with uninvolved third parties present, and personally insulted both classmates Z and me. Everyone's reputation is protected by law. You publicly insulted us, and we can absolutely hold you accountable. I paused, then turned to the girl beside us. Miss, do not delete the video you just recorded. Delete it. No way. I made 3 backups. I will upload them to cloud storage right now. Fang Ming was already red with rage. He drew a deep breath. Fine, Tang Chen. You certainly have a sharp tongue. Then let me ask you this. Do you know where the Z family's project in Shanghai has been stalled lately? Do you? Uncle Z flew back into the country last week. The first thing he did after returning was call my father. Do you think tearing up an agreement and knowing a few rules means you can sit with people from circles like ours at the same dinner table? I looked at him without speaking, but Qingyuan raised her head. Fang Ming, my father called your father to discuss buying back the Fang family's 15% stake. The offer was already down to 60% of market value. The contract was delivered to your home last Friday. Did your father sign it? Go home and ask him. How do you know? HMPH, I am a daughter of the Z family. Do you think all I do at school every day is trade insults with people like you? Well, she was no pushover either. That flicker of embarrassment from being exposed in public vanished in an instant. And as for calling him Uncle Z, never let those words leave your mouth again. My father and your father are not close. Everyone, did you hear that? Did you hear Miss Z say it herself? The Z family is buying back the Fang family shares at 60% of market value. The Fang family is about to be swallowed whole. That arrogant act from young Master Fang just now was all a hollow front. The Z family has a blade hanging over his family. He thought he had someone cornered, unaware someone stronger was closing in behind him, only to find out he was the one being hunted. Tang Chen, just you wait. Sure, I have been waiting. What were you going to say? Say that again. That classmate's phone is still recording. It is still recording. 4K quality, with great lighting. He flung his sleeve angrily, then turned and left. Everyone, did you record all that? This is Tang Chen from the Computer Science Department, second year. Tang Chen. Remember that name. He is the next one going viral. No filming. Hey, stop filming. He is my future husband. If you film him, what if pretty girls start bothering my husband? Holy crap, this guy is not just handsome. He knows the rules too. He understands business and how to crush someone completely. And he is a computer science major. That is a cross-field beatdown, man. Starting today, I am retaking my law elective. Tang Chen, let us talk somewhere else. What is wrong with talking here? It is too noisy here. Come on, let us go. Where to? I am treating you to dinner. We ended up at a Hunan restaurant called Nanfang. Qingyuan chose a corner table by the window. She pushed the menu toward me and ordered only a glass of lemon water for herself. You order. I casually ordered 2 dishes and handed the menu back to the server. Tang Chen, back in the library. Those rules about reputation disputes. How did you know them so thoroughly? Over those 2 weekends, besides reading through civil law, I also read quite a bit about reputation and personal rights. Altogether, it was a lot of material. Qingyuan fell silent for 3 seconds. When she raised her eyes, they held an emotion I could not name. Tang Chen, you should not be in computer science. Then, where should I be? She did not answer. Do you have plans for studying law? You could say that. What plans? I will tell you when I get the chance. HMPH. Your fish with pickled mustard greens and farmhouse stir-fried pork. MM. Halfway through the meal, I set down my chopsticks. Classmate Z. Yes. This agreement. I did not examine it carefully at the library. Now that I have time, I will read it again. Oh. The earlier clauses on apologies and compensation for emotional distress are properly written. There are no major issues with them. MM. But there is one clause. Sister's debt, brother pays. A brother taking responsibility for his sister. Sounds loyal enough. But, in this agreement, it is not reasonable at all. If I carry Tang Yu's burden, she will get used to it. She will get used to me carrying it for her. If she does not bear the consequences of her own mistakes, she will never grow up. That is not helping her. It is spoiling her. HMPH. Think whatever you want. HMPH. What are you looking at? This ends here. Why did you suddenly change your mind? Oh, please. None of your business. From the moment I first saw him, I realized a face that perfect could actually exist. Actually, by then, I was no longer angry. I only wrote that stupid agreement, so I would have an excuse to ask him out again. But now, I could not bring myself to sign that stupid agreement. The indoor light slanted across the table, falling over the torn-up agreement. I stared at it for 3 seconds. Then a new, rather unusual idea came to me. Tang Chen, wake the hell up. Something huge happened. Look. I squinted for 3 seconds before I could make out the pin post. The title read, Exposing Tang Chen, the model perfect face, academic fraud. Bribed his academic advisor. Sister's early dating history revealed. The post was written professionally. It included images, timelines, and screenshots of chat logs. It claimed my provincial mathematical modeling competition in freshman year was an award I paid for. It claimed I got into this university because my mother used connections and money. It said Tang Yu had dated for boyfriends during high school. It even included several photos as proof. The final paragraph was the cruelest. This academic fraudster, a product of slick packaging, and his younger sister, a player who started dating too young, are still strutting around campus deceiving everyone. The school should investigate and deal with them immediately. The post had gone up at 07 in the morning. By 4, it had already been shared over 1,000 times. Bro, is that photo of Tang Yu real? It is fake. How can you be so sure? In that photo, Tang Yu is wearing our high school uniform. That line on the collar was part of the new design the school introduced last year. When she was in high school, that line was still on the sleeve. Seriously, bro. You even remember the uniform design? From elementary school through high school, I washed every uniform she ever wore. Man, you're an incredible brother. You make wish I could switch mothers and be born again. I could not be bothered with him. I walked over to the computer and sat down. For 05 a.m., exactly 2 hours after the post went up. This was not difficult to handle. The account that made the post was just a newly registered, throwaway account, less than 12 hours old. Its IP address was disguised professionally, with 3 layers of proxies. Most people would give up when faced with that kind of disguise. But any data stream leaving the campus network eventually has to pass through a layer that leads back to a real physical address. I opened the suite I had spent 3 years writing, my tracking script. I fed in the poster's user ID and login IP range, all at once. I fed it all in at once. The script ran for about 40 seconds. A stream of data flashed across the screen. The final line showed a real IP location. A 24-hour internet cafe in the eastern part of the city. A 24-hour internet cafe in the eastern part of the city. I stared at those words for 3 seconds, then typed a few more lines of code. For that IP, I pulled every account active in the past 72 hours and ran them all. 7 accounts. 6 of them posted the same kind of promotional articles. 6 of them posted the same kind of promotional articles. The paid accounts even used identical wording templates. The 7th was registered to a phone number ending in 6371. I opened WeChat and pulled up the contact details that Qingyuan had tossed me yesterday. She had added one line: "Just block people like this." I let out an angry laugh. Not bad, young Master Fang. Even when registering a burner account, you dared to use your real phone number. If you were my protege, I would disown you on the spot. Go home and inherit the steel and cement business. I did not act right away. I opened the posting records for those 6 paid accounts, checked the timestamps one by one, and traced each article's sharing trail, caching the payment records along the way. I went through everything. That internet cafe's membership system was ridiculously outdated. Its login records were stored locally. Over the past week, he had gone there 4 times. Every time was at 2 in the morning. I packaged and encrypted all the data, making 3 backups. After finishing all that, I checked the time. I opened WeChat and sent Qingyuan a message. "Are you up?" "I am." "Why are you still awake at this hour?" "I just finished reading that post. I have people handling the post about Tang." As I read those 2 messages, the vague irritation in my chest suddenly faded away. "You do not need to handle it. I will take care of it myself." "And how will you do that?" I smiled. I took the data archive I had just compiled, dragged it neatly into the chat window, and sent it to her. "Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. The principal's office. I will wait for you there. Are you coming?" "I am." What should I wear?" "Well, Student Z, we have not even handled the real issue yet, and you are already worried about what to wear. Wear what you wore when you tore up that agreement yesterday." "Huh?" "Today, we are going to the principal's office and tear Fang Ming to shreds." "Okay." "Then, what will you wear?" I closed my laptop. When I turned around, Lu Ming was still staring at me wide-eyed. "Bro, just now, you. 10 minutes. Yeah. Can you install that script for me too?" "What do you need it for?" "I want to find out who in the next dorm keeps stealing my instant noodles at night." I lay back down on my bed, wanting to sleep a little longer, but her voice echoed in my mind. "What should I wear?" "3rd floor of the library. I will draw up a new agreement." "What are you looking at?" "This matter ends here." 9:50 in the morning. I stood at the end of the 3rd floor hallway in the administration building. When Qingyuan came down the hallway toward me, I looked up. She really was wearing that outfit. "Why are you dressed like that?" "It is comfortable." "The evidence is here." Qingyuan stared at the crumpled paper bag. For 3 seconds, she seemed to want to say something, but ultimately pressed her lips together. She raised her hand and knocked on the dark brown door before us. "Come in." The principal's surname was Chen. He was in his 50s and wore gold-rimmed glasses. He was reviewing a stack of documents. 2 people were already seated on the other side of his desk. Fang Ming and his father, Fang Hongyi. "Qingyuan, my niece. Uncle Fang." Fang Hongyi's smile froze for half a second. "You must be Student Tang." "That is me." "Young man, we asked you here today to discuss that post online last night." "Tang." Chairman Fang has already come forward to explain the situation to the school. They investigated that post. It was posted by someone at the Fang family company, an intern trying to earn credit with Fang Ming, who acted on their own. The matter has been dealt with. Chairman Fang is also willing to take responsibility. He will issue a public clarification and compensate you for the damage to your reputation. I glanced at Fang Ming. Young Master Fang had his arms folded, wearing an arrogant expression. Nice. They had arranged everything. The Fang family was clearly well practiced at this routine. "Principal Chen, may I borrow your computer for 3 minutes? Principal Chen paused, then instinctively pushed his laptop toward me. Fang Hongyi narrowed his eyes. I ignored him, opened the flash drive I had brought, plugged it in, and typed a few commands. A blank window popped up on the screen. Principal Chen, Chairman Fang. The post published at 2:07 last night came from an account with this user identification number. That account was registered at 1:48 in the morning. Its registration phone number was encrypted, but the original number ends in 6371, the second line of data. Within the past 72 hours, this account logged in 4 times from Terminal 17 on the second floor of Qingyuan Internet Cafe in the east side. Fang Ming went deathly pale. Those 4 login times matched the times those 6 paid accounts. POSTED sponsored content on 3 public platforms, including the confession wall. Chairman Fang, you just said. Chairman Fang, you just said that an internet your company posted it without authorization. Student Tang, with technical matters like this, we cannot simply take your word for it. Chairman Fang is right. That is why I sent the same complete dataset to the school's network center. I received their confirmation 10 minutes ago. Tang, this data of yours, where did you get it? I ran a script I wrote myself. You said you are a sophomore, majoring in computer science? Yes, Chairman Fang, this. Principal Chen, Chairman Fang. Tang Chen does not intend to press criminal charges over this today, but that post involved me as well. One section of its lies claimed Tang Chen rose through image building and connections. The implication was that the Z family was backing him behind the scenes. What will my father think when he hears that? And if it reaches those people outside who have been eyeing the Z family's shares, what will they think? This is the supplemental agreement my father had his lawyers prepare last week to buy back the Fang family shares. The original price was 60% of market value. Starting today, it is 30% of market value. Qingyuan, this is Uncle Fang. Regarding this matter, please discuss it with my father when you return. Principal Chen, sorry to disturb you today. Let's go. Tang Chen, yeah, it really is you. I'm Lin Qi. 10 years ago, my dad often took me to your house to play. I vaguely remember. That's great. I just transferred here. I'm a freshman in the School of Finance. I never expected we'd run into each other like this. Can I add you on WeChat? It's been so long. I'd really love to catch up with you. Sure. Then I'll leave you two alone. Tang Chen, let's have a meal together sometime. We can catch up on old times. Lin Qi, the daughter of Lin Zhenting, chairman of the Lin Group. What is it? Is there a problem? This Lin Qi, the way she's approaching you, seems a little too deliberate. You think she has an agenda? The way she looks at you, it seems like she wants to pursue you. But something about it feels off. Stay away from her. At least, until I find out the truth. Tang Chen. Yeah. That script of yours. Would you sell it? Why? I wrote that script as a freshman. It went through 137 versions. What could you do with it if I sold it to you? Fraud prevention, paid troll detection, and commercial due diligence. There is definitely a huge market for it. Which is exactly why I can't sell it. Student Z, that script by itself is worth no more than 200,000 yuan. But if we turn it into a complete product, build a company around it, complete the front and back end, and connect it to commercial credit databases, it could be worth 8 figures in yuan. You want to do it yourself. I want to find someone to do it with. Who? I said nothing. I simply looked at her quietly and gave her my answer. Midsummer sunlight filtered through layers of apricot leaves, scattering flecks of gold across the tree-lined path. The dense branches drooped softly, perfectly hiding the shy flutter neither could conceal in their eyes. Tang Chen. Yeah. The way you handle this. From 2 o'clock last night until 10 o'clock this morning. It took less than 8 hours. You found the IP address and secured the evidence. Arranged to meet the principal. Backed everything up and submitted it to campus network security. And pulled out the buyback agreement. Every step was perfectly timed. You had it all planned from the start, didn't you? I did. Why did you choose me? Because on the day you tore up that agreement, I saw the cover of the partnership agreement on your desk. Hangzhou Z Group Legal Affairs Division Internship Manual. This summer, you interned in the legal department of your father's company, handling compliance reviews. After returning to school, you took on 2 compliance consulting jobs for small companies near campus. The latest post on your WeChat official account was published on September 4th. The title was 10 Common Compliance Pitfalls for Small and Micro Businesses Around Campus. It had 2,300 views. There was a pinned comment. Senior Z, when are you starting a company? I'll be the first to invest. How do you know how many views my public account has? I searched it on Baidu. Student Z, I want to start a company. Anti-fraud, payroll detection, commercial due diligence. I'll provide the technology. I'll cover the initial investment. You handle the legal structure, compliance reviews, and external contracts. We split the profits 50-50. All right, I'll consider it. Over the next week, my chance encounters with Lin Qi seemed to become more frequent. I remember you said you like Americanos. Outside the academic building, we always seemed to run into each other by chance. I happen to be heading that way too. Let's go together. Brother Tang, that freshman Lin is so good to you. She even asked me today what you like to eat. Brother Tang, what kind of incredible luck is this? You haven't even won over Missy yet, and now the Lin heiress is chasing you. Ha, chasing me, my ass. But honestly, it was hard to dislike the way Lin Qi approached me. She was never overly enthusiastic, nor was she cold or distant. She always kept just the right distance. It made you feel she was interested in you, without making you feel pressured. Yet I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Tang Chen, what are you researching? My hands paused. A paper on corporate audit procedures was displayed on my screen. It's for a paper. What a coincidence. My father's company is audited all the time. I know quite a bit about it. Want me to help? No need. I can handle it. By the way, Tang Chen, do you remember when I used to visit your home? Your father was especially busy then. He was always working late in his study. I vaguely remember. I remember he worked in auditing, right? He was an auditor. I've been looking for a chance to tell you. Before your parents' accident, my father's company was undergoing an audit. I heard that project was very complicated. Your father stayed up many nights because of it. Then, on the day of the accident, I heard your father had worked late again the night before. I've always been worried. Would you think it was my father's company's project that exhausted your father, leaving him in such a poor state of mind that, if I truly thought that, then the Ling Group would have indirectly caused my father's car accident? She was probing me. Probing whether I knew what happened back then. Probing how I felt about the Lin family. Even probing whether I had any evidence. Lin Qi, I don't blame your family. Really? It's been so long. What's past is past. That's wonderful. I was always afraid you would. Tang Chen, thank you for seeing it that way. Then we're friends now, right? Yeah, friends. After she left, I took out my phone and messaged Qingyuan. There really is something off about her. What did you say? I said I didn't blame them. I told her to let the past stay in the past. You're actually quite convincing when you lie. Heh, I learned from you. Brother. What is it? Brother, I was at the storage cabinet in our old home. I went to get the photo album Mom left behind. I found a USB drive. What USB drive? It has a label in Mom's handwriting. It says, for Chen and Yoayo. Open when you're grown up. Brother, just now I tried plugging it into the computer to take a look. A password prompt popped up. And there was another line. 3 wrong attempts will trigger automatic destruction. Tang you, don't touch it. I'm coming right back. As I was leaving campus, I happened to run into Qingyuan. Seeing how anxious I was, she decided to drive me there. Get in. I'll take you. In the driver's seat sat a middle-aged man in a black suit. Miss. Uncle Lin, drive to the old Southside district. I'll send you the address. You have a personal driver with you. MMHMM. When you come to campus for class, does he come too? He sits in the cafe outside the school gates. From 8 in the morning until 10 at night. Tang Chen, your parents. The car accident. 7 years ago. Tang, you and I were in middle school then. The plane trees outside the window slipped by, one after another. Qingyuan didn't press further. She only rested her elbow against the window, watching the streets roll past outside. 20 minutes later, the car stopped before an aging apartment block in Southside. Brother. Where is it? Inside. Sister-in-law. Call me sis. Oh, hello, sis. The old house carried a faint scent of camphor. It was Mom's favorite scent. On the coffee table in the living room sat a dark brown wooden box. Its lid was open, with only that lone USB drive inside. For Chen and Yoayo. Open when you're grown up. Brother. Bring me the laptop. I plugged in the USB drive. A password prompt appeared on the screen. White text on a blue background. It read, please enter password. 3 attempts remaining. 3 incorrect attempts will trigger automatic destruction. This encryption format. What year is it from? Judging by the driver protocol. Around 2014. Mom was the company's finance director then. It was probably a customized drive issued by her company. Is the self-destruct warning real? Yes. It's triggered at the hardware level, independent of the system. Then we only have 3 tries. Brother, should we find a professional? It wouldn't help. These drives follow one rule, 3 wrong passwords. And a small circuit on the board burns out, a self-destruct chip. Any attempt to take it apart, read it, or bypass it will trigger the same mechanism. Then, how do we try? I stared at the password prompt. My hand froze. Qingyuan stood behind me, quietly waiting. Whenever Mom locked a cabinet, her first password was always her birthday. 0317. Right, it's her birthday. Incorrect password. Tang, you went pale. No, that can't be, brother. Mom used that for so many passwords. She specifically wrote, open when you're grown up. For something hidden on a drive like this, she wouldn't use her everyday password. She wanted you to figure it out. So this password, maybe something she wanted you to remember. Mom loved gardenias. They bloomed on our balcony every May. Her favorite song to sing was called Those Flowers. Every birthday, she made only one wish, that the 4 of us would be safe and well. I opened my eyes and typed in a sequence. 0512. The day the gardenias first bloomed. Brother, don't try again. Let's just leave it. Qingyuan crouched down, helped Tang to her feet, guided her onto the sofa, then returned behind me. She said nothing. She only placed her hand gently on my tense shoulder. Her hand was light and cool, but in that instant, the string inside me, ready to snap, somehow steadied. Tang Chen. What she wanted you to remember might be a certain day. A day when she felt happiest. I remember now, the day Tang Yu and I were born. On the hospital record card, Mom had written a small line in red ink along the edge. Today is the happiest day of my life. That record card is still at the very bottom of Mom's bedroom drawer. The day she gave birth to Tang Yu and me. September 19th, 2002. I drew a deep breath, put my fingers on the keyboard, typed 0919, and pressed enter. The screen went black for a second. Then a folder appeared. It held just one video file. The file name was simply a Chen and Yoayo. A Chen, Yoayo. If you are watching this video, it means Mom is no longer with you. Mom knows that you have always believed your father's car accident was an accident, but it wasn't. It was the Lin family. It was Lin Zhenting. Your father was auditing the accounts of the Lin group then. He uncovered a shortfall of 370 million yuan. That money was transferred out of Lin Real Estate's escrow account for pre-sale proceeds, passed through 7 shell companies, and ultimately ended up in an offshore fund privately controlled by Lin Zhenting. Your father organized the evidence and prepared to submit it to the regulators the night before he was due to submit it. The accident happened. Chen, Mom knows you're smart. You've always seen further than other children. But Mom is begging you not to act rashly. Zhenting has built his power in the city for 20 years. He has connections in both business and politics. All the evidence your father had then vanished after the accident. For years, Mom has secretly been gathering it again. Besides this video, this USB drive also contains a folder. It holds everything Mom was able to obtain. But Mom knows it isn't enough. The most crucial piece is still missing: the identities of the true controllers behind those 7 shell companies, and the original transfer records. Mom couldn't find them. So Mom is leaving this task to you. Chen, if one day you feel strong enough, help your father and me finish this. But if it feels too difficult or too dangerous, destroy this USB drive. Mom won't blame you. Mom only wants you and Tang you to be safe. Qingyuan's hand was still on my shoulder. She had not taken it away. I could feel her fingertips pressing slightly harder, as if checking whether I was still holding myself together. I'm holding it together. I opened the second folder on the USB drive. There were 47 files inside: scanned documents, bank statement screenshots, email correspondence, corporate registration change records, and several audio recordings. It took me about 5 minutes to review the file structure of everything. Then I closed the laptop. Brother, who is this Zhenting? The Ling Group, the largest real estate developer in the city. It has 4 publicly listed subsidiaries. Its revenue topped 20 billion yuan last year. Its chairman, Zhenting, is a standing committee member of the city's political consultative conference. The Ling Group has ranked among the city's top 3 taxpayers for 8 straight years. Then how can we? Tang you. Go back to school. Brother, go back to school. We can't settle this today. Tang Chen. Yes. So it really is him, Zhenting. My father works in real estate. He has crosspots with the Ling Group onto projects. Their last encounter was 3 years ago, during a joint bid for an old city redevelopment project. In the end, the project was awarded to the Ling Group. My father said nothing at the time. But after he came home, he took Zhenting's business card from the table and fed it into the shredder. What are you saying? I'm saying that Zhenting isn't someone ordinary people take on. I know. What are you going to do? I didn't answer right away. I lowered my eyes to the hand gripping the USB drive. The 47 files Mom left behind. I just looked through them. Most were circumstantial evidence: bank statements, corporate change records, email screenshots. If we bring this evidence into the open, it can only prove irregular fund flows. It can't directly implicate Zhenting himself. Mom said the most vital piece was still missing: the identities of the real controllers behind the 7 shell companies, and the original transfer records. Those 2 things, after 7 years, were either destroyed or hidden somewhere beyond my reach. The true controllers of those shell companies, even if I search official corporate records, I won't find them. With an offshore structure this sophisticated, the domestic registry lists only nominee holders. The identities of the people truly controlling the companies are buried in the records of overseas registration agencies. Then how do you plan to find them? You just asked whether I'd sell that script. The core capability of my script is tracing data flows. Tracking the posting records of online troll IP addresses is only its most basic application. The true core module is something I've never shown anyone. It can cut through layers of network masking, using packet signatures and transmission paths to pinpoint the real device behind them. You mean those 7 shell companies of the Ling Group, even if they are registered overseas, in their daily operations, must have financial dealings with China and exchange information, as long as there is even a single data link between them and the Ling Group, even if it's just one email, one transfer order, or an encrypted message. I can follow that trail to find the real controller hiding behind all those layers and drag them into the open. Qingyuan looked at me and remained silent for a long time. The living room was quiet. Tang Yu had stopped crying. Finally, Qingyuan spoke. Tang Chen. Yes. That company you mentioned. Anti-fraud, anti-troll, and corporate due diligence. I'm investing in it. What's your condition? My condition is this. The day you're ready to move against Lin Zhenting, every legal matter will be entirely my responsibility. Deal. On the way back to school, Tang Yu cried for a long time, before falling asleep against the back seat. Qingyuan sat beside me, with a leather notebook open on her lap. I glanced sideways. At the top of the page were the words, Qiming Technology. What does that mean? The company's name comes from the Book of Songs, Lesser Odes. The morning star rises in the east. The evening star shines in the west. The morning star appears as the long night ends. The first star to shine before dawn. A poet's kind of romance. This science nerd finally gets it. You don't like it? Then why that expression? It just reminded me of a song my mother loved when she was alive. There was a lyric in it. Say goodbye before dawn. Qingyuan's pen suddenly froze. After a moment of silence, she lowered her head and added a line beneath Qiming Technology. The faint light of dawn is never late and never absent. At 4 in the afternoon, the car pulled smoothly up at the school gate. First, I took the bleary-eyed Tang Yu to the entrance of the women's dormitory. Once awake, she still clung to me and refused to let go. In the end, the dorm supervisor stepped in and finally persuaded her back inside. Qingyuan and I walked side by side down a campus path. Suddenly, a burst of noise came from ahead. A crowd of students had gathered at the intersection. At the center stood a girl, Lin Qi. I said 200 yuan total. I won't give you a cent more. You agreed to a total of 1,000 yuan when you placed the order. These lousy flowers are worth 1,000 yuan? I don't want them anymore. 200 yuan is more than enough. Say another word, and I'll have my father make a call. Your entire delivery station won't get a single order this month. I stopped walking. This arrogant, overbearing Lin Qi was nothing like the gentle, polite girl who had approached me before. She was like a completely different person. So this was her true face. I walked straight into the crowd. Tang Chen. Miss Lin. The order number is right there. The platform records will make everything clear. The system determines the actual charge. The system made an error. Miss Lin, once an online transaction is submitted, the agreement takes effect. You can't casually change it on your own. Tang Chen, are you going to meddle in this? This isn't meddling. You just threatened to use your connections to crush the entire delivery station. Threatening someone else's lawful business this way has already crossed a legal line. If this is pursued, it won't benefit your father or the entire Lin family. Qiming Technology officially opens next week. If this matter isn't resolved, resolve this within 24 hours, with a written apology to you and full payment. Call this number. We'll handle it for free. Tang Chen, don't get too smug. When my father hears about this, you'll find out who really calls the shots at the school. Please go back and give Lin Zhenting a message. I've already waited 7 years. Lin Qi instinctively took half a step back. She awkwardly pushed her way through the crowd and hurried away. You deliberately tipped him off. Lin Zhenting will realize that the evidence from back then still exists. The moment he makes a move, I can follow the weakness he exposes and uncover those 7 shell companies, one by one. Qiming Technology will be registered by tomorrow. We begin immediately, before lights out in the dorm that night. I methodically completed 3 tasks. First, I copied all 4 to 7 files from Mom's USB drive onto an old laptop completely disconnected from the internet. I placed the original USB drive in an anti-magnetic storage pouch and quietly slipped it beneath my mattress. Bro, what good stuff are you hiding? Something that will make sure you graduate. I didn't see a thing. At least you're smart. Second, I took my usual social media accounts, email and messaging apps, off the campus network entirely, then set up a complete suite of scheduled scripts to mimic my daily behavior. My accounts like post and interacted on schedule. Even my habit of browsing video sites late at night was replicated perfectly, concealing my real movements. Third, on my main work computer, I deliberately created a folder that appeared heavily encrypted, named Ling Group 2017 Audit Original Files. Inside were 47 PDF documents. Every document contained only one sentence. Welcome. At 2:47 in the morning, at the corner of my desk, the backup computer that constantly ran background monitoring suddenly flashed an alert. Someone attempted to access the target folder. The source IP was bouncing through multiple overseas proxies. I sat upright, put on my headphones, and fixed my eyes on the screen. Their IP kept switching between locations around the world, concealed behind layer after layer of disguise. With ordinary tracking methods, you would lose the target completely by the second layer. I did not intercept them. I let them breach the outer disguise and enter the folder, watching as they downloaded, one by one, all 47 identical documents. With every download request, a piece of code was quietly embedded, a silent beacon I had written. It would not steal data, damage the device, or be detected by antivirus software. Its only purpose was this: every 60 seconds, it sent my server the current device's timestamp. A timestamp alone was worthless, but if 7 different devices kept returning precisely identical timestamps, then I could confirm they shared the same core clock server. And that server was the hub used by the 7 offshore shell companies to move their money within the country. Once all 47 documents had been downloaded, they cleanly severed the connection, leaving no trace behind. I waited quietly. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. 7 separate signals returned right on time, each from a different terminal. I marked the signal coordinates, one by one on a digital map. The final coordinate landed in the city, on the 37th floor of Ling Group's headquarters in Jiangbai District. I took a deep breath and bundled every IP address and transmission fingerprint into an encrypted file. I named it Qiming number 001, original evidence chain.zip. I opened WeChat and messaged Qingyuan. The fish took the bait. How many? 7. Tang Chen, my father has been awake all night too. Zhenting contacted him. Zhenting personally called to test my father, asking why the Z family was letting you and me get so close. How did Uncle Z respond? 8 words. What happens between you and my daughter is none of my business. Before hanging up, my father added one more thing. But if anything happens to him, it is my business. Thank Uncle Z for me. Come thank him yourself. Next Wednesday night, my father is hosting dinner for you in H City. Why next Wednesday? Next Tuesday, my father's legal team will deliver the final share repurchase agreement to Zhenting. As agreed, the Ling Group shares held by the Fang family will be bought back at half their market value. He has to sign that agreement, whether he wants to or not. Once he signs it, Ling Group's cash flow will be cut in half. The rest of the mess is yours to handle. The dorm room was utterly quiet. Lu Ming's snores rose and fell. Pale moonlight spilled through a gap in the curtains, falling on the old family photo at the edge of the desk. Mom's gaze was gentle, her smile soft and serene, exactly as she had looked in the final frame of that video. Dad, Mom, soon. Wednesday night, I changed into the suit Qingyuan had delivered to my dorm in advance, a custom-tailored black suit. Lu Ming felt the fabric, his eyes full of envy. Damn, you look incredible, Brother Tang. That outfit must have cost a fortune. At a private club beside Hangzhou's Westlake, I entered the private dining room. Zhenting looked up and said, Tang, Qingyuan told me, you two are planning to start a company together. Yes, Uncle Z. It will specialize in anti-fraud, anti-money laundering, and corporate due diligence. That's right. How much startup capital will you need? I will cover the startup cost myself. How will you divide the equity? 50-50. HMPH. Tang, a 50-50 partnership makes it difficult to grow a company. When you disagree, who has the final say? Uncle Z. A 50-50 split only prevents a company from growing when both sides chase nothing but scale and profit. My goal is to do what must be done and do it right. Qingyuan's goal is to protect the people around her. Our goals complement each other. This company does not need one person with absolute control. Halfway through dinner, Zhengting's assistant hurried into the room, leaning down to report in a low voice. After Zhengting heard him out, he held his phone out to me. Zhenting, chairman of Ling Group, has been suspected of embezzlement, misappropriation of funds, offering bribes, and other crimes, and was taken away by police for investigation. Published at 7:26 that evening. The report included 3 accompanying images. Zhenting being led out of the Ling Group building by investigators, the official statement from the Economic Crimes Division, and a complete chart of the money flows through 7 shell companies. That chart was the core of the evidence trail I had assembled. I handed the phone back, my expression calm. Zhenting picked up his bowl and chopsticks again, his tone even. Tang, you endured in silence for 7 years. It has not been easy for you. The pent-up anguish I carried for 7 years quietly faded at that moment. The next morning, official figures were released. Ling Group had 4.7 billion yuan in assets frozen. Lin Zhenting's daughter, Lin Qi, withdrew from school and left the country overnight. All 4 publicly traded companies under Ling Group were suspended from trading. The Z family's legal team drafted a share repurchase agreement just before trading was suspended. The deal officially closed. Transaction complete. At 3 o'clock that afternoon, the city's Economic Crimes Unit issued a major announcement. The traffic crash, ruled accidental 7 years ago, had officially been reopened for investigation. 3 key suspects have now been identified. When the news reached campus, the entire school erupted in uproar. Ming rushed into the dorm, clutching his phone. He was beside himself with excitement. That evening, I returned to the old house in the south of town. I took out the old laptop and played the video Mom had left behind once more. Mom's gentle smile on the screen was still clear as day. Brother, Qingyuan is downstairs. Tang Chen, Qiming Technology, officially opens tomorrow. My father said something to me today. What did he say? He said, that young man, do not let him get away. The draft partnership agreement. I've already revised it. Tang Chen. The stars are beautiful tonight. 3 years later, Qiming Technology had grown into a leading domestic firm in anti-fraud and corporate due diligence, with branches in 7 cities nationwide. The scripts originally designed to track online troll accounts had evolved into a complete and sophisticated business security system. It helped hundreds of companies avoid major risks, and also assisted police in cracking more than a dozen cross-border fraud cases. At the company's annual gala, I stood on stage and gave a speech. The room below was packed with employees. In the front row, Qingyuan was looking through the documents in her hands. Now and then, she glanced up at me, a faint smile playing at the corners of her lips. After my speech, she came onto the stage and handed me a document. In a business-like tone, she said, President Tang, this is next year's draft strategic plan. The legal department has approved it. I took the folder and opened it to the first page. The title read, Regarding Mr. Tang Chen and Ms. Qingyuan's detailed wedding preparation plan. Cheers and whistles instantly erupted from the crowd. I looked up at her. The tips of her ears had turned scarlet, but she still tried to keep a straight face. President Tang, this plan requires your signature for approval. Implementation date, the 18th of next month. Why the 18th? Because that day is your parents' wedding anniversary. I took her hand in front of everyone and solemnly signed my name on the document. Later, we went to the old house in the south of town. Qingyuan and I stood side by side before my parents' memorial portraits and raised a glass to them. On our wedding day, someone asked Tang Yu about her love life. Oh, my brother and sister-in-law met at school back then. Now they run a business together and share a life together. I want to find someone like that too. Actually, I work at a design company now. Last month, we hired a new project manager. He is pretty reliable, and he is steady and hardworking too. Yoayu. That look says you are already seeing someone, does it not? He said he would wait until he passed his probation, and his job was stable before officially pursuing me. I have learned my lesson this time. I will not rush in blindly like I used to. Besides, I cannot date just anyone. What if my brother does not approve? As long as he has good character and treats you well, I will not object. Qingyuan gently slipped her arm through mine as she looked at the lively, heartwarming scene before us. An indescribable sense of contentment welled up inside her. That late night 7 years ago, she had angrily posted on the campus confession wall, hunting for the photo editing freak, demanding that her brother pay for his sister's debt. Who could have imagined that model-perfect face that made her fall in love at first sight would become the man by her side for the rest of her life? At that thought, Qingyuan held my arm even tighter. She looked up at me, her eyes brimming with unconcealed tenderness and love. I felt her nestle against me, then turned to gaze tenderly at my wife. I looked again at my sister, dreaming of love, and a smile rose to my lips. All those nights when I gritted my teeth and endured, all those unseen, difficult moments, had now become the hard-won happiness before me. I knew, no matter how long the night, dawn would always come. And now, our family had finally reached our own moment of dawn. Qiming Technology's story would continue. The Tang and Z family's happiness had only just begun.